Okay, so hello people. So today we'll be solving LeetCode daily question 1685, that is a sum of absolute differences in a sorted array. And in this we'll be given an integer array nums which is sorted in increasing order, and we have to build and return the integer array result which should be of the same length of nums, such that result at I will be equal to the summation of absolute difference between nums I and all the other elements. Okay, so in other words, result I will be equal to the sum of nums I minus nums of j, where j will be lie between 0 and the length of the nums. Okay, so now let's move towards the explanation of test cases. In the first test case, we are given the nums is 2, 3 and 5. So what we have to do, we have to just do 2 minus 2, take its modulus, and then add 3 minus 2, take its modulus, or you can also do 2 minus 3. Then similarly 2 minus 5, its modulus. So anyways we are taking the modulus, so it will return us in the positive value. So this comes out to be this is 0, this is 1, and this is 3. So our answer at I 0th index is 4. Similarly, but for 3, what we have to do, we have to do 3 minus 2 mod plus 3 minus 3 mod plus 3 minus 5 mod. So that sums up to be 3. And then similarly for 5, like 5 minus 2 mod plus 5 minus 3 mod plus 5 minus 5 mod, that ends up to sums up to 5. Okay, so firstly, if you try to go with the brute force approach, that is you will be using two loops, and then you will be storing the sum in the result array. That would not work, because we have to improve the time complexity, as it is a medium level question. If it would have been an easy level question, the things would have been much easier, as you can directly go with the brute force and it would work perfectly. But in this case, let's go with the observation that we know the nums I will never be added to the answer. Okay, let's say nums I minus nums I, that will always be ending up to 0. So what we can do, we can just nums I minus, okay, let's do nums I minus nums I. Okay, nums I minus nums I, that will be always be summing up to 0. So we can, what we can do, we can just skip this particular step. And for that, let's have let's firstly okay, so there is nothing much with the pseudocode for this. I'll just explain the approach that how we can do. So let's say we are having 2, 3 and 5. Okay, so firstly what we'll do, we'll calculate the total sum for it. That sums up to be 10. Okay, because 2 plus 3 5 and 5 and 3 10. Then what we'll do, we'll have a left sum variable. Let's call it L sum. That will be firstly initialized with 0. We'll be using the prefix sum approach. Okay, left sum am I equal to 0. So now what I'll be doing, I'll be traversing the array. Okay, so let's use a for loop, that for I equal to 0, I less than n I plus plus, and here what I'll be doing, I'll be calculating the right sum of the right element. So that would be equal to total sum, that is the sum of this total sum minus nums I. Okay, and minus left sum. Okay, so then what we'll be doing, we'll be calculating the number of elements present at the left side and number of elements which are present at the right side. So let's say left count will be equal to I, and right count will be equal to n minus I minus 1. Okay, so then what we can do, the total sum at this particular index before 2 will be equal to number of elements at the left into nums of I, because we have to subtract, like let's say, okay, I'll show the try run for this for the third for the indexes, so you will get to know better. Left sum and then right total will be equal to right sum minus right count. Okay, right count into nums I, and then my answer I will be apparently equal to left sum plus right sum, and I'll be adding left sum plus equal to nums I. Okay, so and at the end just simply return the answer. Okay, I have not declare the answer variable, answer equal to 0. Yeah, return the answer. Okay, so let's have a try run for this. Like let's first take this for this index. What it will do, the total sum is 10. So my right sum will sum up to sum, that is 10, minus number that is 2, and my left sum will be equal to 0. So this comes up to be 8. Okay, so sum of elements at right is equal to 8, and my number of elements at left is equal to 0 because I is equal to 0, and then my right count is equal to n minus I minus 1, so that sums up to be 2. Okay, so as I can see that there are 2 elements on my right. Then total for left total, I am just writing it, lt will be equal to left count, that is 0, into nums of I. Nums of I is 2 minus left sum. My left sum is also 0, and right total will be equal to right sum, that is 8, minus right count, that is 2, into 2. 2 into 2. Okay, so that comes up to be 8 minus 4, that is 4. So my answer I is equal to left sum plus right sum. So in the answer array I am having 4. Now what I'll do, my left sum will be updated to nums I, that is 2, the element at the left. Yeah, so now my left sum is 2, and now when I'll be iterating it again, so now my right sum will be equal to total sum, that is 10, minus number that is 3, and minus the left sum, that is 2. So my right sum now is 5. Okay, so and now my left count, okay, now let me just erase this. Okay, let me not just erase. Okay, I'll just copy this. Um, yeah, okay. So now in my right count, my right sum, sorry, was 5, and my left count was 1, and my right count will also be equal to 1. Okay, here my right count will also be equal to 1. So now what I'll be doing, in the left total, that will be equal to, yeah, my left total, that will be equal to left count, that is 1, into nums I, that is 3, because let me just write the array for the reference. The array was 2, 3, 5. Okay, so yeah, so 1 into 3 minus the left sum, and now my left sum was 2. Okay, so now that sum used to be 1, and similarly my right total, let me just write this arity, and right total will be equal to right sum, that is 5, minus right count, that is 1, into nums I, that is 3. So this sums up to be 2. So answer I will be equal to LT plus RT, that is, okay, here, okay, I guess, uh, no, I guess it's fine. Yeah, 4, 3, fine. Yeah, 4, yeah, answer I is equal to 3. So similarly, I got confused that between the first and the second index. So this is how the array will go on. Okay, so now let's move towards the coding window for this, and let me just zoom in. Okay, so now let's have n is equal to nums dot length, and we'll be having some variable that will be initialized to 0. Then for and num and nums, my sum will be equal to num, and then I'll be having a variable that will be left sum, that will be equal to 0, and a result array, result of size n. Okay, and then what I'll be doing, for int I equal to 0, I less than n, I plus plus, then my right sum will be equal to sum minus nums I minus left sum, uh, minus left sum. Okay, so that will be my right sum. Now my left count will be equal to I, number of variables at left will be equal to I, and similarly right count will be equal to n minus I minus 1. Okay, so now my left total will be equal to left count into nums I minus left sum. Okay, and similarly my right total will be equal to nums of I into right count minus, oops, sorry, right, no, right sum minus, yeah, right sum minus nums of I into right count. Okay, so now my answer I will be equal to left total plus right total, and I'll be adding left sum plus equal to nums I. Or you, what you can do, you can just simply create a prefix sum array, and you can also solve it using that. But in this, I'm creating the prefix array on the run. Okay, so now return answer. Now let's run it. Okay, answer. Oh, sorry, that's it. Result. 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 Now let's run it, and it gets accepted. Now let's submit it. Okay, so yeah, and it gets accepted. Okay, so this was it for today. Thank you for watching.